For those of you who have not been here, again, just to reiterate, my name is Mike West. I'm one of the executive producers with Universal Creative, and the Springfield expansion was one of my pet projects last year. And I was fortunate enough to be the producer for the Simpsons ride when we opened in 2008, and they just thought my affinity with yellow characters worked out well enough, so I came back to the Springfield expansion as well. As you know, we opened the ride in 2008 with a huge success, and even at that point we started thinking about how could expand the Simpsons brand within the park. And the building of Springfield, or portions of Springfield, just seemed to be a natural way for us to go with it. So we kind of phased it. We started out beginning of last summer with the eatery here, and we worked very closely, as we did with the ride, with the folks at Fox and Gracie, with Jim Brooks, Matt Groening, to develop the look and the icons, because the city of Springfield and some of the food that you're sampling and drinks that you're sampling are almost as much of an icon for the Simpsons show as the characters themselves. So we knew that when we were going to create a Krusty Burger, it had to be really something special. And Duff Beer is created just for us here at Universal Orlando Resort. If you haven't tried it, if you're a beer drinker, it's actually really good. It's one of my favorites in the whole resort. Of course, I'm a little biased. And when we were doing Krusty Burger and Flaming Moe, we knew we had to have a Flaming Moe, because obviously that's a big part of the Springfield experience as well. So everything that we did, from the graphics on the wall to the colors of the building, to the look and feel and taste of all the food is very authentic. And again, we worked very closely with Matt and Jim on that. We did a taste testing with them and a number of the writers and producers when the guys developed the menu for these areas. And it was a lot of fun, because the best thing was trying to tell them, don't eat everything. Go against what you've been taught your whole life growing up. Don't eat everything that's on your plate, because you've got to taste a little bit of everything. So that was kind of tough when they're downing, double burgers and things, and then you say, you got 60 more things you got to try. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great day that day, and really got a lot of good feedback on some things. But the thing that we tried to create was just the idea that now you're going into Springfield. When we did the ride originally, we wanted to take guests into the animated world of The Simpsons. And in this case, what we wanted to do was we wanted to bring you and the guests into the real world of Springfield. So that's why we looked at some of the iconic elements, like Moe's Tavern. Obviously, how could you ever have Springfield without Moe's Tavern? Like Lard Lad and the donuts. We added a few things, like the Bumblebee Man taco truck. That obviously was not in the show, and I think it might appear down the road. And also, Cletus decided to open up his own little chicken shack. So we have the world's first Cletus chicken shack here in Springfield at Universal. Some of the other things, the pizza, obviously the Krusty Burger is a major element. We knew we had to have one of those. We added Duff Gardens along the waterfront over here. It's a really nice opportunity for guests to sit and look out over the water and view that other little small project across the way. It was a great place to watch it being built and come up over the last few years, actually. And then we also added something to Krusty Land, because Springfield, if you look at it geographically, pardon my back there, it leads up towards Krusty Land, and Krusty Land is kind of on that verge between Springfield and Universal. So if you go up to Krusty Land, we added Kang and Kotis's Twirl and Pearl. We kind of got the name, figured after you eat here, you go up and you spin around for a while, and that's the name. We haven't had that happen yet, so that's been good. So, but the whole idea is that there you go and you ride Krusty, Kang and Kotos, and they're trying to get you to go and destroy Springfield. So as you fly around, you can hit the targets and you hear the different characters react. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good family ride where everybody can go and ride it together at the same time. So with that and Duff Gardens, we just had a blast recreating the land that you see here. And it took us about 18 months to put it all together and to build it. And the guest reaction has been phenomenal. It's really been terrific. They love the food, they love the drink, and they just like the idea of being here in Springfield. And we added 2 walk-around characters. We have Krusty and Sideshow Bob now walking around. So I can't do my Krusty voice as much anymore because it really makes him mad. But they've been going very well with the guests as well. So, any questions you guys have about what you've seen or sampled?
Yeah, I guess everyone kind of guessed that Krusty Burger and Duff Beer would be a big hit. Was there a sleeper hit? Was there some food item here that guests have really responded to beyond your expectations?
Yeah, I think the chicken and waffle sandwich is a huge hit. That's one of my favorites, actually. It was I can't tell you the secret ingredients because Crust will have to chase you out of town. But that's been a huge, and obviously the flaming moas have been really popular for guests. Everybody wants to have a flaming moa when they come to Springfield. So those two things and the giant donut that you guys see, that's been a big plus too. And actually the ice cream, they've really been taking a lot of it. And the Bumblebee Man taco truck, if you haven't tried any of that, try to get a chance to sample those. Those are really different and good as well. So, and when we worked with the writers, all the menu names and menu boards and everything, they came up with a lot of that stuff too. And I think for the hot dog, we at one time had a name that had about 73 words in it because Jim Brooks wanted to call it the Round the World Super Double Dip 2 foot long. We kind of said, Jim, we can't fit that onto the menu board, so we shortened it down. But we had a lot of fun working with those guys on every aspect of this project. So, any other questions?
What was your title again?
One of the executive producers at Universal Creative.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah? Everybody's had their fill already?
I'll ask another. Can we expect any new additions or changes coming to the Springfield area? Can we expect to see the name Springfield show up on the map as an actual land in the park?
I would hope so. If it's not there already, it should be.
Yeah.
And as far as we have a very close relationship with those guys, so we're always looking at new things and stuff. We could make the experience here better for the guests.
And are there any plans for upgrades to the Simpsons ride itself? Because when you compare it now to Transformers and Spider-Man with the 4K, it doesn't quite visually come up to that level.
Yeah, we're always looking whenever new technology comes out for projectors or lenses. We're always looking to add and increase things and make it better. We actually, at Al Jean's request, one of the lead guys for Gracie Films, we put 5 new lines of dialogue in this. So when you go to the ride, there's Al had some things that he wanted to get in before that we weren't able to do. So we redid some of the small portions of the ride as part of this project as well. So. Anything else?
I interviewed you last year for our entertainment show for Race TV, and we talked a lot about the creativity behind it all. And I think something like the Transformers is something where you don't realize how incredible it is until you experience it. What was behind all the creativity of that? I mean, what does it really take to put something together? Because it really takes you into a whole other world, as we see today and this time that you're here, that if you let yourself, I mean, it just seems so incredible that you guys put that together.
Well, you got to get into the property. I mean, you get into and work with the guys at Gracie. I mean, that's their world, literally. So the closer we work with them, the more we kind of got infused with all the characters, and even just doing Barney. The details we went through on Barney and Millhouse and Steve Wiggum and Duffman and the 7 Little Duffs. Hours and hours and hours, weeks, months spending just getting the colors and the details of where the pupils are in Barney. You really have to know that one of the challenges is this is such a world-renowned property. I mean, it's really a cultural phenomenon. It's been around for over 500 episodes. They won over 25 Emmys, 25 years now, I think. So it's just meeting those expectations is a huge challenge. And fortunately, I think both the ride case and Springfield now, we've been able to meet that. And plus, but you want to make it something that guests who might have been living on Pluto for the last 25 years, who never heard of the Simpsons, you want them to come in and enjoy the experience as well. So you really have to look at it from all different angles, not just the Simpsons aficionados, but just from a great guest experience for the family. And that's one thing I think Springfield really does so well is that, a lot of the rides, the parents ride it or the kids ride it, this is a place where the entire family can enjoy it together. They can sit here and have great food, or they can go and ride Kangen Kodos. I can't tell you how many pictures we take with Chief Wiggum out there. He's like hugely probably got a big ego now. But that's what I really enjoy, seeing groups of people together come and enjoy it.
Well, I was going to add that too, because it's not just a place to take the kids, it's a place to take the whole family, and the adults can enjoy it.
Exactly, and the kids love it. No, I was going to say love it here. The adults love it here. But it's just been fun, and I don't know if we probably haven't set it off because the guys have everything set up, but we have a prank phone over here that you get prank calls from Bart that these lovely guys back here get to control. Yeah.
Got a personal favorite?
Wow, that's good.
Can we have a demonstration?
I think I like Duff Gardens. I mean, I love most Tavern, but Duff Gardens is such a great place to sit, and it's a nice environment, and the drinking's good. I don't know, we just had so much fun doing it. You get into it a lot, and they're just so funny. Jim Brooks has a thing that they tell a joke 10 times and people still laugh, then it's a good joke. If they only laugh 8 or 9 times, you got to find a new line. So that's the kind of thing we want to make sure we live up to that standard. That when if you come here 10 times, it's still fun and there's things to do and new things to see. So. Anybody else?
Last question.
Yes.
Can you give us any hints of what we might see at Springfield and Hollywood?
We're going to be doing a lot of the same facilities, like there will be a Moe's Tavern and there'll be a taco truck, so a lot of the same icons we've created here. A little different layout out there.
Will they have the same Duff beer? Because I know that's brewed here in Florida.
You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I know they're going to have Duff beer, whether they're going to take our brew that we've done here locally and ship it out there. But I know we're pretty fanatical about it. We have the only real Duff beer anyway here, so. But it'll all be good out there too. Right the same way. Huh?
They can get fun out there.
Yeah. A lot of stuff. So, well, thanks everybody for coming out, and please enjoy the food and drink here at Moe's and around Springfield. If you have any other questions, I'm going to be around for a little bit. Feel free to come up and chat.